So Paul says, look, I didn't say that you shouldn't have fellowship with any of these people. He says, but actually, in verse 11, I wrote to you not to associate with so-called brother if he is an immoral person, a covetous, or an idolater, or a reviler, or a drunkard, or a swindler, not even to eat with such a one. For what have I to do with judging outsiders? Do you not judge those who are within the Kehillah, or who are within? But those who are outside, God judges. And then, straight from the Tanakh, straight from the Torah, he says, remove the wicked man from among yourselves. The title of my message today is Bidikat Chametz. Remove the leaven. Yeah, someone said, what in the world? What does he say? Yeah, Bidikat Chametz is a ceremony that we do before Passover. It's searching for the leaven, right? But the title of my message, it's a hard one, really. It's remove the chametz. Remove the chametz. Remove that leavening. And the unfortunate thing here is that it's actually somebody. It's actually somebody. What this text really speaks to is congregational discipline. When somebody, in this particular text, there is, and I'm going to reference another text here in a second that really speaks to this issue. But this is something that is a known, accepted, unfortunate sin that's being lived out in the life of the congregation. And it has consequences for the greater Kehillah. It is so important that the purity of the congregation, this is why we have a membership process, and this is why that we talk about where we're coming from and why we do certain things. This is why we should have a leadership, we should have an eldership, and we have a deaconship, and all of those things to help put some of those accountability practices in place. You know, I'm fortunate because I don't feel like we have any issue like this going on in our congregation. And if we did, it would have to be addressed. I think it's important, though, and I just want to pull out a few highlights of the importance. What is the issue whenever accepted sin is going on within the congregation? Well, first of all, again, as I just said, is that it compromises the purity of the congregation. It compromises the purity of the congregation. We've been called to be, what does Paul call these people? In his opening of the letter, he calls them kiddushim. He calls them saints by calling. And then, of course, he shifts out of that and he has to bring them to this come to Yeshua meeting because of the fact that they're prideful and they're arrogant against one another. And, of course, one of the results of that is that it has to do with this acceptance of a sinful behavior that's open and known in the congregation. And it spreads like cancer.